One of the biggest questions people have after finishing Red Dead Redemption 2 is this: why did Dutch van der Linde end up trusting Micah Bell over Arthur Morgan? Because Arthur was the most loyal person Dutch ever had, and Micah was the one man in the gang nobody trusted. So how does a man who built everything on loyalty end up betraying the person who believed in him the most? Dutch van der Linde was not always the man you see crumbling in Chapter 6. Early on, he was everything he claimed to be. He took in people the world had thrown away, orphans, drifters, outcasts with nowhere else to go, and he built them into a family. He robbed from people who had too much and handed it to people who had nothing. He read philosophy by the campfire and talked about freedom like it was something worth dying for. And the thing is, he meant it, every word. People didn't follow Dutch because they were afraid of him. They followed him because he made them believe in something. Arthur Morgan was the purest product of that belief. Dutch found Arthur at 14, a street kid with nothing, no family, no future. He took him in, taught him to read, taught him to ride, taught him everything. And Arthur repaid that with the kind of loyalty that goes beyond duty. He'd ride into any situation Dutch pointed him toward without hesitation. He'd pull the gang out of disasters, absorb impossible amounts of pain, and never once ask for anything back. Arthur didn't follow Dutch because he had to. He followed Dutch because Dutch was the only father he'd ever known. For a long time, that relationship was the bedrock of the entire gang. And then Micah Bell showed up. Micah was different from anyone else Dutch had ever brought in. He wasn't lost. He wasn't looking for purpose or belonging. He was just dangerous, cruel in a way that had nothing to do with survival, reckless in a way that got people killed almost immediately after he joined. The gang saw it straight away. Nobody trusted him. Nobody liked him. Arthur said it plainly: this man is trouble, and Dutch kept him around anyway. At first, that seems insane, but watch what Micah actually does from the moment he arrives. He doesn't try to win the gang over, he wins Dutch over. Quietly, deliberately, one conversation at a time. He studies Dutch the way a predator studies something, finds out what he needs, what he fears, what he desperately wants to still believe about himself. And then Micah becomes exactly the person that feeds all of it. Now here's where the story shifts, because this is the moment the world starts closing in. By 1899, the frontier that Dutch built his entire life around is dying. Railroads cutting through land that used to be wild and unreachable. The government extending its reach into every last corner. The Pinkertons, patient, relentless, essentially unlimited, hunting them with a precision that outlaws had never faced before. And the plans keep failing. Blackwater goes wrong. Every big score falls apart before it pays out. And then Guarma, stranded, cut off, depleted, far from everything they built. And Dutch has to stand in front of people who are starving and scared and look them in the eye and sell the dream one more time. That weight, carried alone with no end in sight, starts doing things to a person. And this is exactly where Micah becomes dangerous, because Micah is right there, steady, never questioning, never flinching. Every time Dutch looks like he's about to face the possibility that it's over, Micah points somewhere else. It's not the plan that failed, it's the people doubting the plan. It's Arthur, it's John, it's everyone who isn't fully committed. Dutch is still right. Dutch is still the visionary. Dutch just needs to trust himself and cut out the dead weight. For a man whose confidence is quietly collapsing, and Arthur is still there too, still loyal, still riding anywhere Dutch points. But Arthur is also watching Dutch change, and he loves Dutch too much to pretend he isn't. So he pushes back, quietly, carefully, but honestly. And every time he does, Dutch has to feel the gap between who he used to be and who he's becoming. That gap is unbearable, so Dutch stops looking at it. He chooses Micah's voice over Arthur's, then again, each time a little easier than the last, until choosing Micah isn't even a conscious decision anymore. It's just the only way Dutch knows how to keep going.
Arthur died on a mountain betrayed by the man who raised him, and Dutch walked away. Not because he stopped caring, but because somewhere along the way, caring became something he could no longer afford. The frontier took everything from Dutch van der Linde, but in the end, the thing that finished him wasn't the Pinkertons or the changing times. It was the moment he decided that a comfortable lie was worth a painful truth. Micah just happened to be the lie that was available.